So, hello everyone, here we are again for a new round of workout, and as you can see, I'm well equipped for working out because today we are going to work out with books. Now, we are going to need two books. Try to find two books that are approximately the same size, so not that you have like one comic book and one very big almanac. Find two books and then come back here and then let's start with the workout. Enjoy! So, first of all, I'm a little bit sorry that the video is a little bit dark, but anyway, stand at the front of your mat, stretch your hands up above your head, and then place your hands onto the floor between your feet, so your feet are quite far outside. Then you reach with one hand all the way back and up, rotate your upper body here, and the other hand as well. Then you go with your hip 3 times up and down. So you stretch your hand, you try to keep your hands, you stretch your hip, you try to keep your hands on the ground, and you just go up and down and then step back into a high plank. You stay here in the plank and then go into 5 push-ups, keeping your elbows very close to your upper body. Try to keep your back a bit straighter than I have here. And go 5 times just a little bit down and up. Then you come with your feet front and in between your hands. And you put 5 times your feet right and left in between your hands, keeping your back long and straight. And then you come into a downward dog, reach with your right leg back and up and bring your right leg front in between your hands. So you shift your upper body that much forward that your shoulders are over your hands and your knee comes all the way to the front. Keep your back as straight as you can. And then place both feet to the front. Again, go in the same position. Put both hands down. Reach up with your hand to the ceiling. Reach up with your hand to the ceiling. Come with your hip up and down for 3 times. And up, and then step back into a high plank. We are going to do the other leg now. So first you do the mountain climbers, so you go 5 times with the knee forward and in between your hands. And then you push your hip back and up towards the ceiling. Yes, we forgot the push-ups, you see. So first you do the push-ups, then 5 times, elbows stay close to you, then your hip comes back and up, your knee comes forward between your hands, and you want to remember to push your upper body forward so that your shoulders are in one line with your hands for 5 times here as well. And then again, both feet come to the front. Now we want to step out to the right and step out to the left. So you step out one side, step out the other side, touch the ground all the time. And then wherever you are on your mat, you come to a standing. You do 5 times here. And then you come into a standing, you reach with your hands up, you put your hands on the ground, and you walk with your hands forward so that you can follow with your feet and stand straight. And then we're going to do the same thing again. So hands reach back and up, you lean back. Then you come with your hands front and down between your feet, so you have your feet more than hip wide apart. You reach with one hand up towards the ceiling, rotate your upper body. Take the other hand, reach up towards the ceiling, rotate your upper body. Come with your hip back and up for 3 times. 2, and then 3. So now you step back into a high plank. And you go from here into 5 push-ups. So your elbows stay close to you and the elbows go back and you try to keep your stomach in and go 5 times down and push back and up. Then you bring one leg to the front in between your hands and one leg to the front in between your hands. 5 times this one as well. You can put the feet on the ground. You want to keep your back long and straight. And front. And then you push your hip back and up towards the ceiling into a downward dog. You stretch your right leg to the ceiling and you pull your right knee front in between your hands, shifting your upper body forward for 5 times also. Shifting your upper body forward so that your shoulders are in one line with your hands on the floor. Then the feet come to the front both. You open your feet so that you can again have your hands between your knees. Then you rotate your hands right and left up, reach with your hands as much as you can, and you come with your hip up and down for 3 times. Okay, then you go from here into a high plank again, and again we do the legs 5 times front. You keep your upper body long and straight. And then afterwards we want to do the push-ups. So push-ups from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then you go back into a downward dog and you lift the left leg up and you come with the left leg 5 times to the front in between your hands. And shift your upper body front so your shoulders are above your hands. And 4 and 5. And then you step out to the right, touch ground, step out to the left, touch ground, right, touch ground, left, touch ground, and one more time, right, touch ground, left, touch ground. Wherever you are on your mat, you stand, face the mat, put your hands on the ground, walk with your hands to the front, follow with your feet, and come up into a standing, and that's it for a warm-up. So now you know how it works. I show you now all the different exercises that are going to be in our circuit, and you pick your variation according to your fitness level. So we take our books, and then you want to step back into a lunge and lift the books up to the ceiling. You alternate between right leg and left leg, and you want to make sure that your front leg stays in one line with your ankle and your upper body stays long and straight. If this is too difficult for you, you put the bags to the side, the books, and you just go into a lunge, stretching the hands up, or you go into a lunge having the hands right and left on the side, or you just go into a position, on a step position, and just bend and stretch the knees. So the next one is speed and coordination. So as you can see here, I put the books right and left on the side. Now what we want to do is we want to run or walk from one side to the other, and then lift the books up every time we come to the side. So you lift the book, you put it down, you take the other book and you move it back. So then you go without a book, you bring again 2 books and to the other side. So what we do with this is we train coordination and speed. So you don't only want to run from one side to the other, but you want to aim with your hands. You can also, of course, do this slowly. You can walk sideways. You can step sideways. Important is that you do the sideway movement and the lifting of the books. Now, here we are for plank and lifting books. So you go into a plank. You can see I have put the books already with their backs up. Now I take one book and I either lift it halfway up or I stretch it all the way up to the ceiling. I do like 3 times on one side and then 3 times on the other side. What you want to make sure is that your hip stays more or less straight. So you don't want too much movement in the hip joint or in the hip itself, so in order to work your core muscles more. Next movement is boxing with books. So go from here, hold the books in front of you, try to have your shoulders relaxed and down, and box the book to the front, taking the leg on the same side backwards. So here again, the people who have heavy books have a little bit an advantage, they train more muscles. Or of course you just stand straight and you bring the books forward. So the next one is an exercise for our hamstrings. So as you can see, I've put the books here underneath my heels, and I can come up and down my hip with the hands on the ground, or I can stretch the hands to the ceiling. The books make it a little bit more difficult to balance, and they bring they kind of change the angle that I lift my hip from. Or if I want to be totally crazy, I just have one book, I put the leg up and I lift from here. So then you would do one round the one leg and the other round the other leg. And of course, you know what's coming next. We put the books on the floor with the spines up, and we can either step over them. Now you put them so that you have one step in between, or we can run over them. Now you can either run backwards or you turn around. I would say you turn around, it's much easier because otherwise you kind of don't make clear steps backwards. Next one is a squat. So you stand straight, feet hip wide outside, Stretch the books up above your head and go down into a deep squat. Remember, when you cannot go down too much into a squat, you can put something under your knees, or you hold the books like a bouquet of flowers in front of you. This is a little bit easier. Last movement is standing on the book. Yes, I also was feeling a bit strange on standing on the book, but really, what is going to happen? So you stand on the book, and then you lean your upper body to the front and stretch your leg back. The funny thing is, the book is moving a little bit, so you have like your own wobble pad at home. Then you come front and you bring the leg front and up and you go again. So we do one side first, and then the second round we do the other leg. So, and that's it for exercises. So here we have them again all together. The circle exercises, every exercise 45 seconds, then we have a 20 seconds break. So it's 8 exercises all together. Get ready and go. So from here we stand and stepping back into a lunge, and you want to either lift the legs up above your head, or don't do the lunge without the books, or just stand straight. Important is you keep your upper body long and straight, reach with the books or the hands up, and keep your front knee in one line with your ankle. Go a little bit longer, you are almost there, and keep going, keep going, keep going. Stretch the hands up, make sure the knee is in a good position. Always run through your little checklist in your head, and keep going, and then one more repetition, and then you are done. So, and then we come for our next movement, moving the books from right to left. So you still have a little bit of break, but you remember you want to get into position to having one book on the right, one book on the left, and then run in between them. So 3, 2, 1, go. And then take one book, place it next to the other, and move them continuously from one side to the other. Really try to lift them and carry them. No? You don't only want to work your coordination and your cardio, but you also want to train your brain to really do something while you are running quickly from one side to the other. Remember, you can, if you have the feeling that you are not that fast yet and not so used to the side movement, also walk slowly. Otherwise, go and be a delivery service. You basically are Amazon now, what it used to be before when it was only delivering books. So this is what you are doing now. So a little bit longer. 3, 2, 1, and stop. And your well-deserved 20-second break. Remember, now after the break, you want to have the books in a position that their spines are pointing up. So maybe get on your fours, get in position, put the books, and kind of visualize the movement again, and then 3, 2, 1, and go. Go into a high plank, and then grab your book, either lift it halfway up or lift it all the way up. Go for like 3 times on one side and then 3 times on the other side, or 5 times on one side and 5 times on the other side. Important is that you change in between. So try to keep your hip as parallel to the ground as you can, and either lift the book halfway up or all the way up, and keep going, and up and down and up and down, and little bit longer. 3, 2, 1, and break. The next one is the Rocky Balboa move. So you take your books, if you want, put the Rocky Balboa music in the background, and then put yourself in the mood of smashing the books into someone else's face. So go from here, 3, 2, 1, and then step back, and the same side where the arm is going to the front, or do the boxing on the spot. This is again up to you. So either on the spot or stepping back. You want to go fast, you want to go in fluent movements, pushing back, and go and go and go and go. Keep going and keep going, pushing back, and don't stop moving. Keep your shoulders down, and either do the movement on the spot or step back with your feet here. Keep a little bit longer. Go, 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 go. You are almost there, almost there, almost there. and then 3, 2, 1, and stop. Now we come for the hip hinge or for the bridging with the books. So you put the books under your feet, either both feet or only one leg. And then you go in position. You either stretch the arms to the ceiling or keep the arms down. And then get ready. 3, 2, 1, and go. So I have here chosen both feet on the books and I have stretched my hands to the ceiling, which makes it a little bit more difficult. So just always make sure that your hip always goes up to the ceiling, and in between you can either put the hip all the way on the ground or even keep it up. If you have chosen to use only one leg, in the second round you do the other leg then, and then in the third round you do the leg that was more difficult. So keep going, nice pushing off the hip, up and down and up and down. Little bit longer again. And keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And then 3, 2, 1, and break. And then our next movement is the running over the books. So place your books again with your backs or with their spines to the ceiling. And then you want to get ready to run over the books front and back or step over the books front and back. So 3, 2, 1, and go. So try to have the books in a position that you can put one leg in between and try to turn quickly and go over and over and over. So try to make as many repetitions as possible. You can also count the repetitions that you do and then try in the next round to make either the same number or even more. So keep going. You have a little bit longer. Try not to let the books fall down, so don't touch them. And step over, step over, step over, a little bit more. And go, and go, and go, and 3, 2, 1, and stop. And then we go for our squatting with the books. So you get ready, have the books right and left into your hand, take the feet hip wide outside, stand straight, kind of run through your checklist in your head again. And then 3, 2, 1, and go. So hands come up, and then you go down into a squat and stretch back and up. Remember, your knees should stay behind your toes. You can also put something behind underneath your ankles. And you can also lift the books and put them down, or you just keep them up because then you don't mess up with the movement. You see, I tried here to lift and go down, but it messed my movement, so I just keep the heads up. So keep going up and down, little bit more, little bit longer, and then we have only one more movement to do, and then we are done here with this first round of our circle. So 3, 2, 1, and then ready for our last movement, the movement where we will all feel bad because we are standing on books, but we can do it. So put one book on the floor and then stand balancing on the book. And 3, 2, 1, and off you go. So one foot onto the book, lean forward, and come up. So try to be as balanced as possible. You can either stretch the hands to the side or, like I do here, stretch them to the front. And come up. And again, we do in the other round, we do the other leg. If you do a third round, you can either change halfway or you do the leg that was more difficult. Forward. And you have a little bit more. You might manage 1 or 2 more repetitions. 3, 2, 1, and so that's it for our circle today. So catch your breath, take a break, get some water, and then you go back to location 8 minutes in the video. This is where the circle starts again. So you can do a second round and you can do a third round, and then you do a little bit of stretching at the end. And then that's it for your circuit training. So, and that's it again for a workout. So yeah, quite fast, quite efficient, some books, some space, and you. And there we go, have another round of workout, a new variation of exercises. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up. And I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.